Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today I'm going to tell you about the data encapsulations and objects. First, we need to know about what the encapsulation is. What does it mean? So, in our general basis, we say what is encapsulation. Encapsulation is to hide something, or to hide the important details, or to restrict the direct access to some components or to someone, or to hide their major or personal information. So in coding, what is data encapsulation is data encapsulation data encapsulation. So in coding, data encapsulation is the procedure or practice of building related data into a structured unit along with methods or any objects that is used to work with that data. Like we structure some data into some units, like sometimes we say that in encapsulation we hide some data in a capsule, or we hide or uh, important things in some capsule. So in data encapsulation, we use some structured units along with some methods that build to encapsulate the data. So they are building related data into a structured unit along with methods that is used to work with that data. Now, in most of the languages, like in object-oriented programming languages, we implement encapsulation through classes and objects. Classes and objects are used to encapsulate the data into structured units. So basically, what is the structured unit? So structured unit are these classes, and in these classes, we define the set of attributes for data and methods that is used to carry out the operations. What are the attributes? Attributes are the any name of the any name of any variable, or any argument, or any property or characteristic. So basically, the class defines the set of attributes for any data and for any methods that is used to carry out the operations. So we will define class, define attri attributes for data and methods. So through encapsulation, classes hide the implementation detail of programmed element while restricting the direct access to those elements. Restrict other classes or other methods to access the element. For these, there are various methods, but we usually in coding we usually use the access modifiers for this. There are three access modifiers. access modi there are three basic access modifiers, and those are public, private, and protected. So what is the public access modifier? Through public access modifier, classes, or we can access the data within the class, same class or any other class. Like wherever you want to access the data, you can access in the within the same class or from any other class. But in private, it can be accessed within the class itself and not accessed by any other class. Like in private access modifier, through private access modifier, you can only access your own class data and you cannot access the other classes data. But in protected, like in through protected access modifiers, you can access within the class, or you can access within the derived classes. Derived classes are those classes that are inherited from the parent classes, so you can access within the class itself or from the derived classes. But private access modifiers, you can only access the data within the class itself and not accessed by any other class. So here's a simple example of data encapsulation and how we encapsulate data, how we modify data. So first I'll create a class circle and I'll define a special method in it, and I'll give it a argument self and radius. Now what will I do? I'll self dot radius. These are we already did all these syntax and all this in our previous video, so I don't have to explain this to you again and again. So basically this is simple. Now, what is this? We already said that the classes define some attributes, or classes have some property. Now in Python, how we access the property or how we define the properties in classes, we use they are identified or they are represented with this keyword property inside the class. So now we will use what property? This property radius. Radius is the property in the class. Now we will create a method radius, and what will I do? I'll set the value of radius with this method radius dot setter. Now there are two methods, getter method and setter method. Setter method is used to set the value, whereas the getter method is used to get back the value or is used to retrieve the value. Get method will retrieve the value and set method will set the value or update the value or anything. So I'm using here the setter method, which will, and if I want to update any value in next classes, so it will help me out to update the value. So another method, see, I'm giving here a condition new dot radius is greater than 0, then print self dot radius is equals to new radius. Otherwise, print here radius must be a positive value. Okay, what I'm doing here, I'm simply making a radius method, and I'm giving it a argument or parameter new radius, and I'm saying that if new if new radius is greater than 0, definitely if it would be less than 0, it would be a negative value. So I'm giving it a condition that if radius is greater than 0, then print the radius value. Otherwise say that it is a radius must be a positive value. Why is it giving an error? Let me check. Unexpected radius. This radius, there's some indentation mistake, I guess. Self radius. If new radius is greater than, yes, this is correct. Why Why is it giving us error radius? Okay, self dot radius. Radius here. I guess there is some mistake. There's some mistake, I guess, and I need to return here a value self dot. I guess this is the mistake. Yes, this was the mistake. So now I use this method, setter method, because if I want to update the value of this radius, so it will easily update the value in next object through the next object. So I'm creating here, sorry, yes, creating here an object circle of a class circle. I'm creating here an object circle and giving it a value 5, print circle dot radius. It will print us, it will, why is it giving an error? CARCLE. Why is it saying that circle takes no argument? Yes, we assign a value to this object. We can, there shouldn't be any, there shouldn't be any mistake, I guess. Why is it not assigning? If I say circle dot radius is equals to 5 and I print here, no, there shouldn't be any mistake. Self dot let me check. Radius self dot radius. Here is a this, yes, you are defining. Why is it taking any, why is it giving an error? Let me check. Self dot circle init self dot radius, and then self dot radius is equals to radius, and I am setting the property of the class here, and then there probably an indentation mistake because it's always just syntax error, always, probably, I guess. There shouldn't be any mistake. Radius dot where did I define anywhere radius dot setter? Did I define anywhere, like here? radius dot setter. Now this is used to set the value radius dot setter. Why is it giving an error? I just radius def radius dot setter def radius, and if there shouldn't be any error, circle is equals to circle class and print circle dot radius. And if I print here only, no, there should, okay, if I print here, radius is not defined. No, let me see your circle init self radius property, then self radius here, I guess, because these are private methods, so I need to take care of this syntax. 7 print radius. Now we'll check if there is any mistake or not. There shouldn't be any mistake, I guess, so there shouldn't be any self dot radius, and then property, and then def radius self return setter method, and def radius self new radius, and if new radius is greater than 0, new radius else, there shouldn't be any mistake in this. I just don't know why is it giving an error, because what are they saying? The class takes no argument. There shouldn't be any mistake here. Let me check. Class dot radius. If I say class dot radius, and if I, why is it giving an error? We are just creating an object of a class which is, yes, there is no mistake, there shouldn't be any error. property inside the class. New circle. Circle takes new argument y. Self return. Print. I guess there is some mistake. I already knew that there was a syntax error. So basically I'm creating the object of a class which is class, object of a class circle which is circle, and printing the and this object is used to call this property. What is this doing? This radius is a property, not the method. So where is the property? This this property. Okay, this is the method. So we can actually call the method, or we can actually update the value because we already used the setter method. So how will we use this? You should keep the thing in mind that in Python, if there is any syntax like a small syntax mistake, you cannot go forward, or you cannot continue your code, or you cannot go further until you solve the error or anything. So you need to check the syntax very carefully, or you need to write the code very carefully, otherwise you are unable to do the code. Like I'm updating the value and print, it will return the updated value. So hopefully you guys understood the topic. Thank you.